Seasonally adjusted normalizing market. Welcome to the Market Minute. Big John Peterson here for November the 28th, 2024. What we're seeing in our marketplace is very typical of what we see in our ebbs and flows of the seasonality and time of year. And we're seeing our market react like it did typically prior to 2020, very differently than it has reacted in the marketplace over the last few years, but this is typical if you look over the long term. So let's take a look at some of these numbers and really what does this mean in our real estate marketplace. So we saw that there were 456 new listings with 424 sales. So sales are not keeping up to the new listings, but the numbers are overall down. And if you think about it, if you're looking at selling your property, there aren't as many people that will be starting that process as we're getting closer to Christmas. And buyers, there's not as many buyers out there looking to purchase right now, but there are buyers that are in this market that are very motivated to generate a purchase prior to Christmas, maybe even still get into a property before Christmas. And the sellers that are out there are a little bit more motivated, or they have a reason to sell because, again, they are still wanting to have their home up for sale as we're getting a little bit closer to Christmas. So overall activity is down, but the listings that people are looking at, typically those sellers are wanting to sell. The buyers that are coming through the properties are more qualified, more of a motivated buyer, simply because of the time of year. And having done this for 26 years, again, we've seen this year over year over year. If your exposure to the market has only been in the last few years, you might not recognize this, but you go back pre-2020, very, very normal. There's 87 of the conditional sales over the last week that did fail. Again, it's still a very high percentage, 1 in 4.5 to 1 in 5. Again, that number is higher than it should be. With some great planning and strategy on a buyer's part, we should be able to have a much higher success rate. And from a seller's point of view, doing a little bit of due diligence with who is looking at buying your property, you can get a much higher success rate. We're sitting as a team right now at about a success rate of about 97, 98% success rate versus sort of that that 75 to 80% is what we're seeing in the general marketplace. Going forward, 413 price adjustments. Again, price adjustments have come down in terms of absolute numbers, but look at it in comparison to sales. There's almost as many price reductions happening in the market every week as there are sales. So that indicates our marketplace is stabilizing, is normalizing. 234 properties came off the market unsold. That's the people bringing their homes off the market. Time of year, haven't been able to sell. Maybe we're looking at buying a property, putting their home up for sale, subject to buying another home. That other home sold to a different buyer. So now they've taken their home off the market. So there's some strategies around that you want to take a look at as well. Total inventory, 4,562 properties. Again, we peaked out at about 5,200 homes available for sale. Again, seasonally adjusted. That number will normally come down anyways. It represents a very balanced, normalized market. And we see that when we take a look at the months of supply. So 2.7 months of supply in general, with 2.5 months worth of supply in detached homes, 2.1 months worth of supply in the row homes, townhomes, and for the semi-detached properties as well. So that's your half duplexes. So again, all of these numbers are staying in that low to mid, sneaking into the upper twos, but we are not in a situation where we're looking at over 3 months worth of supply until we get to apartment style condominiums. 3.7 months worth of supply. It still is a great market. 3.5 months worth of supply in apartment style condominiums still represents a good time to sell. And there are some deals out there, so a great time to buy. But what we are seeing is that those prices have increased substantially through the year. They are definitely stabilizing. There's some good deals that are out there right now because with a little bit more inventory, we are seeing the odd seller getting a little bit more motivated to look to move their property, and some of them want to get those moved prior to the end of the year. Homesaleprices.ca will give you a rough idea of the value of your home, but watch those numbers that you're getting back through these automated systems. They're probably off a little bit right now because they look at trends, and we're seeing our trend is shifted over the last little while. So if you really want a good, accurate idea, give us a call. We're happy to provide absolutely no cost, no obligation evaluation of the property, but really understand these trends. The numbers are a bit lower. But when we seasonally adjust them for the time of year, it still shows a good normalized market. And we're starting to see the projections coming out for next year. Watch for that video. We're going to do that at the beginning of next week, beginning in December. It'll all be about what the people looking at the crystal ball for 2025, what we're going to see for the marketplace. Take care.